A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. We are back and we are going to analyze EURUSD, gold, and all the major dollar pairs. Make sure to leave a like, join Discord, link in the description down below, and let's just dive straight in. So EURUSD is still bearish on the swing structure, guys. As we know, this is your swing high, this is your swing low. Impulse down, we start seeing a pullback. So then the next question, as always, was how do we understand that the market is ready to push down lower? And yes, you are right in what you are thinking. We were waiting for that change of character. So what we're seeing is that we're coming in towards this extreme area of supply over here, right? So now what I'm understanding is that the market is changing structure inside of that extreme area of supply. So how do we know that the market is changing structure? Well, we see a push up, we see a push back down, we see a push back up, right? So this high is this high, this low is this low, and this high is this high. So now what I'm trying to understand is, okay, what happens next and how do we know that we are bearish? Well, what do we see? We see the pushback down in towards this low. Now we see a pushback up in towards the overall supply zone. And now obviously we are expecting a downside continuation after the bearish change in structure. Okay, so we form this area of supply right on this buy before the sell. We come back in and we start pushing back down again. So it would make sense for EURUSD to start pushing down lower. Draw in your fib, and what do you see, especially if you go into the 1 hour time frame, is that you pretty much pull back exactly in towards that 0.5 fib, right? So that is now a key level. If you were to draw this in as a 1 hour area of supply, then what you would see is that this would be your buy before the sell again. Again, if you have a hard time understanding supply demand, use the 50% body candle indicator, and what you then see is that this supply has been playing out. We tap in and we move back down. So now in order to see EURUSD push down lower, you could already look to go short. So first of all, here on the 15-minute time frame, what do we see? We see a break of structure up, we see a break of structure down, exactly in line with that 4 hour change of character. So now what I saw last night was that exactly we pulled in towards this area of supply. As you can see, we wicked into it with absolute perfection over here. And now what I'm waiting for is just for the market to continue down lower and lower, and for us to trade the overall order flow further in towards the downside. But what we need to take into consideration is that we have red folder news today. We have interest rate decisions, guys, and this can influence our trading on these dollar pairs extremely or very heavily. So what you need to understand is that previously the interest rates or the federal fund rates was at 5.5%. Forecasted is a cut in the rates, and a cut in the rates indicates a bearish dollar. Okay, that's what you need to understand. However, if we now move into the dollar index, what do we see? We see on the daily time frame, or even on the 4 hour time frame especially, that the dollar has already been extremely bearish. This is because they call this pricing in. People have already for a very long time expected that the market is going to, or that the Fed is going to decrease interest rates. So what you see happening is that the dollar already starts decreasing in value. So what does this mean? It means that, okay, if it does come out at, let's say, 5.25%, that would indicate it's pretty much as expected. But let's say it's more than expected, 5%, so that would be a 0.5% cut, 50 basis points cut of the interest rates. That would be more bearish for the dollar, and it could see us push further down in towards the lows because it is more than expected. And this is what a lot of analysts are saying. It's going to be more than expected. And then I would be looking at around 100 or a drop into there, and then maybe a retracement back up. Okay, so look at the weekly time frame and look at this swing low. That is what I would be looking at. We even have still a weekly fresh area of demand over here to our left. If we extend that zone, that is this zone. So we could even drop as far as that if the interest rates decisions really change that heavily. Okay, so just keep an eye. EURUSD is still looking good for a short for now and for a further push down, in line obviously with the daily fractal structure, right? So the daily has got a high here, a low here. It's just a pullback, and now obviously you expect a further push down from this area of supply, this area of imbalance. It makes sense to push down lower, but yeah, with obviously the news coming, anything could happen. But for now, it is looking like a good short. So therefore, I will be targeting this imbalance over here as my next target for EURUSD. And then obviously, if we push down even lower, then I'll just be keeping my eye open for this overall sell before the buy at around 1.10550. So that is EURUSD and the dollar. Now going into AUDUSD, what are we seeing there? So AUDUSD is actually very different, guys, to all these pairs, because yesterday what happened, well, on yesterday's daily candle, we already broke the blue line, right? And the blue line, what was that? If you watch yesterday's video, you'll know it is our fractal high. So the daily has now changed in fractal structure. So remember what I was explaining at the beginning of this video on EURUSD. We get the push down in towards this low over here. We get the pullback up in towards this high. We get a push down in towards this low. Now what happens? We come in towards supply. We see initial bearish reaction, but what happens? The market just decides to break the high. The high is therefore not respected. Therefore, no bearish bias on the daily time frame on Aussie dollar. No shorts are of interest for me. Now we go in towards the 4-hour time frame, and I understand the 4-hour might be a little bit messy for you, but if we just clean it up just slightly, you'll understand very clearly that here we had a swing high, here we had a swing low. So we're inside extreme supply, so shorts are looking good. However, when do we understand that the market is ready to short? We understand that it's ready to short when we see a change of character. So did we get any change of character? Well, first of all, change of character high over here. The low, which was this low over here, didn't get broken. After that, what is your next change of character high? High break, high break, high break, high break, high break, boom, here. So this is then your change of character high. What is then the change of character low that broke this high, this low over here? And as you can see, the low remained respected yesterday. We came in towards this imbalance, and from that imbalance we pushed back up higher. So overall, the overall order flow just remained bullish, and therefore there were no shorts on the cards for Aussie dollar. So therefore still interested, and only interested in looking for further upside, okay, on Aussie dollar. No shorts as of now, only interested in moving up higher and targeting this liquidity high over here on Aussie dollar for now. That is just for me the main target that I have. So yeah, only if we start breaking again back in towards the downside would I be interested in looking for some further shorts again. But for now, bullish momentum is completely on. Going into GBPUSD, so the pound against the dollar, we saw the biggest drop on that. Obviously a very clear area of supply over here. We had the high again, very clean change of character. What you then do is you go into the 15-minute time frame, and what you'll see over there is that we have the bearish order flow, right? So the bearish areas of supply being respected. We see here the pullback after breaking the 4-hour fractal low, pull back in towards supply, and from there we sell off. So here what you see is that if you were to place your stops above the highs targeting a 1 to 3, that would have been a very beautiful take profit hit. Now price is stalling inside of this imbalance, inside this area of sell before the buy over here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pullback in towards here. That would be an area of interest for some further potential shorts in line with the 4-hour trend. Yeah, that is what I would be looking for on GBPUSD. Overall, going into the daily is also still fractal bearish. Therefore, I am still potentially interested in getting involved in some further shorts into the downside. The 1 hour already has this imbalance over here from where we could sell off, so do keep that in mind. So yeah, looking at GBPUSD for the day ahead. Now going into our two last pairs, which are NZDUSD and Gold. So NZDUSD did push down lower, but as you can see, it is extremely choppy. It is just stalling inside this area of supply. NZDUSD is a little bit different. Why? Because the fractal structure here on the daily, remember what I explained on Aussie dollar, here is bullish. So what we saw was pretty much just, again, push back down, pull back, push back down. So low, high, lower, low, push up again. And we've only been breaking highs. So that means that the market is just pushing up higher and higher. So I do not expect any shorts on NZDUSD here on the daily after sweeping liquidity here and then flipping further in towards the upside in line with the overall daily bullish trend. This was just a pullback. So going towards the 4 hour, a simple fractal structure break like we saw over here is then not enough really to go short for me. So I'm not interested in any shorts on NZDUSD. It could sell off from this area of supply, but it's just too low probability for myself, therefore staying out and waiting for better setups such as EURUSD. Going into gold, last of all, guys, gold has been pretty interesting. Yesterday, what we saw was, especially on the 4 hour, not looking too much at the daily, but on the 4 hour time frame, is that we saw a bearish change of character. So high break over here, then we broke the low over here. Then once again, what happens? We break the low once again. then what is your high? Your high is over here, and now currently our low is positioned over here. So we're now inside a bearish range, still looking for some further downside on gold, but obviously gold is also going to be waiting for the news this evening, Central Eastern Time. So waiting for that. For the rest, not too much going on. EURUSD is looking interesting. Pound dollar is looking interesting. So focusing on those pairs. Thanks so much for watching again, guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's market outlook.